Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back and thank you all so much for being here. This morning we'll be taking a look at some exciting stock market news, mostly a lot of notable earnings reports, and which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. This is a reminder to head over to TipRanks TV to catch some great exclusive content, plus our after market recap series, where Fabio will be covering all of the stuff happening in the market throughout the day, plus big earnings in the after hours and much more. So make sure you go over there and give it a watch. Now let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures are in the green this morning. Currently, Dow futures are up 0.63%, S&P 500 futures up 0.77%, and NASDAQ futures up 1.01%. Host Hotels and Resorts, the largest lodging REIT, has divested the Sheraton New York Times Square location for approximately $373 million. The president and CEO of Host commented that the sale of the Sheraton New York Times Square hotel represents another step in the transformation of our portfolio as we look to deploy capital into assets that will bolster our EBITDA growth profile. Since 2021, they've divested 8 hotels for a total consideration of $1.4 billion, while investing $1.6 billion in early cycle acquisitions. Analysts currently rate the stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 3.4%. Alphabet's Google is setting up its first African product development center in Kenya's capital of Nairobi. The project is part of the company's commitment to invest $1 billion in Africa over the next 5 years. They're trying to lay the foundation as they see huge growth opportunity there. By 2030, the continent is expected to have 800 million internet users, up from about 300 million currently. Moreover, they're expected to be the home of 1/3 of the world's youth population by the end of the decade. With unanimous buy ratings, the Google stock comes in as a strong buy with an average upside of over 36%. Now moving right over to notable earnings reports. In the pre-market this morning, we're still waiting to hear from American Airlines, Nucor, and Philip Morris International. And in the after hours today, we'll be hearing from Snap, Boston Beer Company, Intuitive Surgical, and PPG Industries, to just name a few. Already in the pre-market this morning, we heard from AT&T. They reported first quarter revenue of $38.1 billion, just short of analyst consensus. The figure includes Warner Media, which AT&T spun off just days after their first quarter ended. Excluding Warner Media and Xandr, the telecom-only AT&T had first quarter revenue of $29.7 billion, which was an increase of 25% year over year. Their total first quarter adjusted earnings per share were 77 cents, down 9% from a year ago. Excluding Warner Media, they were 63 cents, up almost 9%. Analysts currently rate the stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 23%. Last night, all eyes were on Tesla, who delivered blowout results for their first quarter, surpassing both revenue and earnings estimates. Impressively, their quarterly earnings more than tripled year over year to $3.22 per share and significantly beat analyst estimates of $2.26 per share. Additionally, their revenue climbed a whopping 81% to $18.8 billion compared to the prior year period and outpaced analyst estimates of $17.8 billion. Management noted that supply chain constraints and chip shortages continue and are further heightened by the recent COVID lockdowns in China. Analysts currently rate the Tesla stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 3.5%. Last night, we also heard from United Airlines. The company said they expect to return to profitability in the second quarter. United reported a net loss of $1.4 billion for the first quarter and total operating revenue of $7.6 billion, down 21% from the first quarter of 2019. The adjusted loss per share of $4.24 beat expectations by 2 pennies. The airline carrier is seeing signs that business travel is rapidly returning and that international travel is picking up. They expect to be solidly profitable in the second quarter and to report a profit for the full year of 2022. Analysts currently rate the stock a hold with an average upside of 7.3%. And we also heard from Steel Dynamics, who came out with better than expected results for their first quarter. They reported adjusted earnings of $6.02 per share, above the consensus estimates of $5.57 per share. Their revenues totaled $5.57 billion, higher than the street's estimates of $5.31 billion. Compared with the year-ago quarter, the top line surged 57%, driven by a healthy steel business. With some older price targets that now have a downside following recent growth, the stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average downside of about 8%. Now, let's take a look at which stocks are this morning's biggest gainers and losers. Our biggest gainers this morning are led by American Airlines. The company did come out with their earnings while I was filming and is also forecasting a profit in the second quarter as travel demand soars. Under the ticker AAL, the stock is currently up nearly 11%. They're followed by United Airlines under the ticker UAL. Their stock is up nearly 8% following their earnings last night. And Clinigen's Holdings under the ticker NUTX, they're up 8%, seemingly rebounding from losses of 13% yesterday. Our biggest losers this morning are led by Equifax after they updated their Q2 guidance and a couple analysts downgraded their price targets. Under the ticker EFX, the stock is down 10.6%. They're followed by Alliant Energy under the ticker LNT. The stock is down 10% following their earnings. And Xerox under the ticker XRX. They're down 9.5% also following their earnings. So that is going to be everything for Thursday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. If you made it to the end of today's video, make sure you head over to TipRanks TV and say good morning in the comments over there. I always appreciate hearing from you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you back here next time.